So, what happens when you get your fucking hands, like, bolted to some guns and you don't have magic powers, Harry Potter? You fuck shit up with some cyberpunk shit. That's what happens, Guns Akimbo, you son of a bitch. That's what we're talking about right now.
You listen to me, you son of a bitch.
Guns Akimbo. Wow. What a fucking roller coaster of a movie. It's crazy good. It was actually way good. It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
It does sound like one of those weird sexual moves. Like, man, I gave her the Guns Akimbo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you did what?
No, it's like,
you did the what?
Like, I gave her the Guns Akimbo. Who did you invite over to your house, Harvey?
You nasty. I can't believe you Guns Akimbo.
Well, you say fucking dirty yoga. But, no, either way, hey, this movie is fucking great. It's crazy weird. It's so weird, but it's so cool. Yeah. We got lucky enough to get to watch it early, and when Mike was explaining to me the plot, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And then I watched it, because I had no expectations, like, at all going in. Like, I got the basic premise, and I watched it, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. And Daniel Radcliffe really surprised me. I know he's a good actor, but he really surprised me in this. Also, Elizabeth Moss and Doss is in this as well.
No, that was the last one.
That's not who she is.
Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving heaving. Samara Weaving heaving. I'm sorry, they both are blonde. But Samara Weaving is, then she likes to do cocaine and fucking hunt people. And she looks like shit. From when she was in, like, You're Next, cocaine's a hell of a drug, and she snorts a lot of it. And you can tell it by the way that she's got that metal fame.
God, oh my God. It's not Your Next. She was in Ready or Not.
Well, goddamn! They're all the same. I don't give a fuck.
Let me say it this way: for those of you guys who aren't familiar with Guns Akimbo, and I thought for sure when I heard the name Guns Akimbo that I'd heard that before. Maybe it was just news articles or what. I thought for sure it was an anime or a comic book or whatever. When I looked it up, I already looked it up, man. I already looked it up. There's nothing about it.
Did you go to Bing?
No, I went to Google and Wikipedia. But no, what the movie's about is basically that we're in this a little bit into the future a little bit, right? And it's a play on the internet and the social media networks and everything that's going on. And basically there's the show called Schism that people watch on their social networks, right? It's called Schism, and it's basically people killing each other. Yeah. Right?
Very like Running Man kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And they watch them killing each other for fun. Daniel Radcliffe from the mountains of Satan.
He finds you in the desert.
Daniel Radcliffe's character is this guy who works making shitty video games for the squirrel company. He goes home and he drinks some IPAs and he trolls on the internet's what he does. Well, he starts talking shit to the guys who are running Schism and the admins or whatever.
Talk to the wrong peeps.
Next thing you know, they find his IP address, they show up at his house, they're like, you want to talk shit online, you little shit. They beat the fuck out of him, knock him out, and then when he wakes up, he's got 2 guns bolted to each of his hands.
That's cool. It's kind of disturbing, but it's kind of fucking cool too.
It's also stupid, but still.
He's like, you gotta own that shit, man. Like, own it. Like, but it really...
John Woo.
For a second, though, yeah, it pretty much is John Woo when he makes action movies. He has 2 guns bolted to his hands, like, I need action!
He was actually watching Hard Target. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he's like, I need you to knock out the rattlesnake with your fist, Jean-Claude. That's a great movie anyway. But either way, yeah, it's you do see, though, like, how fucking hard that would be. Like, wiping your ass, taking a pee-pee in the toilet.
That scene was graphic.
It was scary. I was worried. You saw his wiener.
Yeah, you saw a wiener.
Well, you saw a wiener. It just looked like a fucking strap-on.
It did look fake.
Yeah, but you still saw a wiener. But it's like I was kind of scared because he was like, you're pointing. Like, dude, imagine like it's a gun barrel at your dick.
Yeah.
And you're trying to pee, and you're like, oh my god, I could shoot off my nut here. How can I live?
His rationale though was exactly how it is when you're drunk though, because he was like, hey, it's okay if I pee all over the toilet seat as long as I don't shoot my dick off.
But it shows the hard, like, the hard situations of what that would present, dressing yourself and whatever. So he's pretty much gonna have to embrace his destiny and fight this chick named Nyx,
who's played by Samara Weaving.
She's great.
Dude, Samara Weaving is fucking... Dude, she's my favorite actress today. I love her.
She's a great actress. She's very crackhead in this, but
her eyebrows are shaved off, but yet she's still attractive. I still found her attractive even in this movie. She's walking around literally when she shows up. She's got a $100 bill hanging out of her nose where she was snorting coke and she doesn't even realize it. Her eyebrows are shaved off and she's fucking nuts. Whoa. And I still find her very attractive.
Whoa! Where did you get your drugs, bro? Where did you get your drugs? Because I want them. But no, yeah, she's ugly as fucking to me. But I'm sorry, like in other ways, like she's really pretty in real life. But in this one, holy shit, it reminds me of Charlize Theron in Monster. Fuck no.
Still would have. Yep,
you're
absolutely.
Disgusting.
Any day of the week.
You're disgusting.
For sure. I had to lock it up.
But anyway, so the adventure continues in the Guns Akimbo movie, and he has to survive. He has to find a way to outwit Nyx, who's the champion of Schism, and somehow get his goddamn hands unbolted from the fucking guns that have been bolted onto his fucking hands. Now, I will say also, the soundtrack is awesome.
Amazing.
And dude, it is really, really good.
Amazing.
There's so many 80s songs that they throw into this film, and it's kind of a remix, but that is so punk rock. Like they have a lot of it really does feel like a cyberpunk like film that would come on. Like I feel like the movie would have come on in like the late 90s, early 2000s on MTV next to like the Max.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it was animated or something.
Dude, it feels like what's the movie with the fucking the kid in the... You remember the kid in the End of the World movie where one girl was eating his butt and the other one he was giving her Capri Sun? What's that dude's name? Michael Cera?
Ron Jeremy.
No, Michael Cera. What's the movie he's in?
Oh,
the video game movie.
That's right. You're right. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
It feels like Scott Pilgrim versus the World plus John Wick, plus fucking
The Matrix,
Shaun of the Dead, plus The Matrix. Like it's such a fun, out there, fucking wild movie, and it doesn't give a shit.
And even a little bit of Ready Player One. Like it has all those elements in it that make it really unique. Like. It's so individual of a movie. Like I've never seen anything particularly like it. Also has little elements of hardcore Henry in it. Like not all of it, but just some of it. Like just this over the top kind of grotesque violence that is really cool. And they got some great bad guys in it too. Because I didn't know how to describe them until the guy in the movie said.
You described it perfectly.
He's like, you guys just walk around looking like end bosses from Streets of Rage. I'm like, yes, they fucking do. They look exactly like it.
And the one guy, he was like, you just look like a worn out dildo that someone drew on with a Sharpie. That's exactly. But that guy reminded me of Tobin Bell.
Yeah, he did.
You mentioned that?
Yeah, and so the bad guys are great. Like I don't want to give away too much of this film because it's so new. It's so new. It's so fresh and so fresh and so clean. You got to get in there and you got to eat it with no forks or sporks. You got to go in there with your fingers and ingest this movie because it's going to be worth it. The movie's an 8.5 for me. Like I had that much of a good time. And dude, the ending is so fucking worth it.
The song alone.
Yeah. Dude, you hear that
Not
song.
Not gonna spoil it.
Like, you hear that song, immediately you want to pop your fucking collar up and go back to 1986. And you're like, fuck yeah!
It reminded me of the rooftop scene from Last Action Hero. You remember that scene?
Yeah, dude.
It reminded me of that, dude, but the song, fuck.
I got, like, all hyped. I was watching my girlfriend, I was all hyped. Like, I was already hyped. And then when that song, I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's it. Like, I can't say what this, you guys might be able to pick out what I said, but I hope you didn't. But dude, it's a song from a soundtrack of a movie that was amazing in the 80s with a superstar back then. And dude, when you hear it and what's happening on screen, when you get to, it's like watching a team come back in the Super Bowl. It's like watching Eli Manning throw the ball down the field to Tyree in the Super Bowl, and you're like, it's so fun. I don't know. I want to do karate in my garage afterwards.
Every character too. The hobo guy he was the clerk in Yes Man.
He was great.
You remember?
He was great.
He's like, I don't believe in that.
He goes, for all you know, I could have been a computer programmer, the savant. He's like, oh, is that what you are? I'm sorry. He's like, no, I just got hooked on crack. Do you want to smoke some crack?
Dude, Samara Weaving. I just want to point this out again. She's my favorite actress working in Hollywood right now. She is fucking. She's charismatic. She's hilarious as fuck. She's a total badass. I would pay $60 for your autograph at a convention.
I want to party with you.
I want to party with you. But I love her so much, man. And Daniel Radcliffe killed this movie too. It's just, dude, it's a fun movie. And man, you will not believe the special effects. And that's why I looked up the director of this.
Yeah.
Has done other stuff before, but not as a director. But he worked on shit like the Avengers, like the special effects and stuff. Well, it looks top fucking notch, expensive as hell.
The special effects, while they were great, I thought the camera angles, the movements of the camera angles, like the one scene I'm thinking of specifically is when he's coming to the cops. And the way the camera angle like zooms in on, and then they switch up to the people that are watching him. Yeah, it just looks so fucking cool, dude. I don't know why, I just like that scene.
And it has a lot of Paul Verhoevenness into it for what it has to say about like internet trolls and like people online and the way that stuff works.
I think it's like,
but it's so on the outskirts. It's not trying to preach to you. It's just kind of poking fun at our society, and you appreciate that. And they do it in a well done way, like Paul Verhoeven would have done it, not like they would have done with most other movies today.
Like, again, it goes back to the subtleties that we talked about the other films could use, or people that are trying to make or recreate these great films, the subtleties that these classic directors were able to do and instill in a film without having it like forced down your throat. And they do a great job of doing that, because what I took away from it, otherwise it being an awesome fucking movie, if I really wanted to look deep for a political meaning, you could find one. If you want to find a message, it's definitely in there. But I didn't give a shit. But I could see it. It's like we're a violent society, and like it's placating to.
And there's a couple dumb scenes. Like at one point when he goes outside and he's like, "It's the first time I've been outside and I've actually not stared at my phone." And if it's like everything is in HD, I was like, "That's dumb." And there's some shit in the movie that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It's one of those movies you have to suspend belief for and just be like, this is a dumb. It's not completely dumb, but it's sort of dumb,
weird,
wild, batshit fucking crazy movie. But I'm telling you, man, it's a movie that it's no holds barred. It's full on action. It's got comedy action in it. It doesn't give a fuck. It's playing with fire.
Yeah.
It's playing with fire, and it's enjoyable as fuck, and it's well made. It feels like a fucking really
I don't know why.
movie.
I don't really know why this movie wouldn't or didn't get released on the big scale.
Well, I think it's getting wide release.
Hopefully it does.
But they actually gave us a screener to review it. Which
thank you very much.
And that's not why we're giving it a great review.
No, I mean honestly, if it had sucked balls, I would have been like, thank you very much. You movie sucked balls.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'll say this: I think that the people. Most of our community, most of the guys that like the same kind of movies we do, are really gonna fucking adore this movie. I think it's gonna be, at worst, I think it's gonna be a cult classic, and I think people are gonna enjoy it for a long time.
You're gonna like the way you look. We guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
So,
Men's Warehouse.
Let's go ahead and get to and then Guns Akimbo. Akimbo of the guns. I wish I had. Oh, Michael, you know what? I wish I had 2 goddamn guns with 50 bullets each. I'd shoot you 106 times, Sheriff. I'd kill that motherfucker with 2 guns attached to my hands. I'd kill you dead. Michael, you look like a fucking Dillard's commercial. It's a good movie. Elijah Wood's in it. Elijah Wood, Daniel Radcliffe. They look the same. They're cousins. Fuck them. One's Harry Potter, the other one's North, a.k.a. Frodo, sucking Sam White's game cheese dick on the voodoo.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review.